Welcome back, everybody watching, all of you beautiful people tuning in to this ESL One Genting Open Qualifiers broadcast. I'm Gareth, and we bring you game number 2 in this best of 3. Finland up against Germany. The draft has begun. 5 anchors, no captain, took game number 1 in this best of 3 against Saphira, or Kindergarten as they're tagged up as now. And it was a pretty close game, all things considered. Draft was pretty decent all around. Split push worked out well for the Germans for a little bit, but the team fight of 5 anchors proved to be that little bit stronger as the game progressed. Now, this draft, very different so far. Brew, Shadow Demon, Puck banned out in the first phase by the Finns, while Omni, ET, and Tiny are the 3 bans from the Germans. And they opened up with the first pick, Morphling. Immediately responding, the Finns go for AA Underlord as their pairing to start off with. Monkey followed, and then comes out the Clockwork, the Bane, as we round up our draft a little bit here. So you've got Clockwork AA combo, a little bit of mobility and global power there with Hookshot, Ice Blast, and Dark Rift to move around the map and catch people that you want to try and kill off. And if you have a Clockwork AA as your support duo, you've got 2 support heroes that can potentially kill cores. AA, great against the Morphling, decent with the rocket flares as well to catch the Monkey King, give that vision for the treetop dancing monkey. Bane responding back, pure damage and lockdown against Underlord, AA and Clockwork, reasonably good all-round laning hero as well with the Bane. As it's time for 5 anchors, no captain, going into their 4th pick here. What exactly are we looking for? Nuke damage to go into the Ice Blast is always pretty nice. Thompson can't have Monkey King. Can't have Puck. Can't have Storm. Can't have Morphling. Arc Warden is still there for Thompson. Immediate response there with the Timber. Up against AA Clock Underlord, but they are against Lycan Clock Underlord. The triple melee hero line up there from 5 anchors. Kindergarten looking to deal with it through that whirling death of Timber. And likely they'll have their Monkey King in that support role again. I don't think we've seen too much of the Morphling offlane or Morphling support come back into play, but it's definitely a possibility here. Morphling offlane, Monkey mid or safe, Timber mid or safe, then Bane +1 as your 2 support heroes. Could be a way to go if you're a little bit afraid of the AA Clockwork roaming around and killing your Morphling too often. But more likely than not, it will be that safe lane Morphling. Final bans into picks then. Mid lane still open here from 5 anchors. The Mirana ban there, locking out that Nightmare into Arrow combo. And an OD ban. OD, a very strong hero against both Morphling and Timbersaw with that intelligent steal, but mainly the pure damage over the top. That rips through their natural defense mechanisms.
Ten seconds remaining.
Oh, the bots are out in full force today, aren't they? Look at them all getting banned. You bunch of idiots. So what are we looking for here? I would kind of like to see the offlane Morphling, but Oracle. Save mechanism against the Ice Blast, potentially. But that does shift Monkey King into a core role, as we were looking at. What else can you do here? Fortunes and Cold Feet.
5 seconds remaining.
Don't know what else there is, and there is the Thompson Arc Warden. As we mentioned, his hero pool was getting thinner and thinner. They'll just round it up with an Arc Warden. So Arc Warden Lycan, tons of split push, decent global mobility here between all of them as well. Maybe a little lacking in the catch and kill. Clockwork and AA can pair up, but they'll need a Lycan or an Arc Warden to help them out, dish that damage into the target that they've trapped. Kindergarten, what do they come out with here? Offlane Bane. Is this happening? Offlane Bane. Still going to be that 4-roll monkey. 5 Oracle. Morphling and Timbersaw there. We'll find out what lanes they decide to go into. Can only imagine the mid Timbersaw with maybe the Monkey King to help out in mid. Just to deal with that Thompson Arc Warden. It really is so strong in the hands of Thompson as well. Just make sure everything's good. In the old admin channel, switch my overlay as well, as the game has been paused, I believe. Or it's just broken. It's been paused, see? I'm clever, I know what's happening. Someone paused the game. Who was it? Oracle. Oracle. Pink, restart PC. Quick pause to not see anything scared him. Yeah, scared me too. It's spooky when things don't load properly. So what do we have? Trixie Underlord, Nymphy, Lycan, Thompson, Arc Warden, Pexu, AA, and Oxia on that clockwork. Okesuka. Some good, strong Finnish Dota over here. Over on the German side. Hot Guy, very, on the Oracle. Perzo playing the Morphling, Blue Bane, Mambos, Timbersaw, and Donkey Kong Bongo player, the Monkey King. Bane with a Windlace first. Does look like Blue's going to be heading towards that offlane again. I wish I could speak Finnish. Your words are so fun. We need the Finnish Finvasion to come back into chat. Start talking about Suomi and Perkele and saunas. And how you're going to go and eat some salmiakki. Your words are just fun to say. I don't know what it is. There we go. Donkey Kong Bongo player Monkey King has returned to the game. His PC restart was successful. And now he'll be playing the Dota 2 video game. Whenever the teams are ready to go. Do we still have a default courier on this Dire team, by the way? I don't see anyone buying it yet. Come on, where's your little chicken? You need to buy a chicken. There we go. Basic donkey. Ugh. How in 2017 can you run on a basic donkey? Boots first, clockwork, as usual. Nothing weird and wonderful here, I don't think. Bane offlane is the only real unusual one, but this we've seen before already. Offlane Shadow Demon, offlane Bane. The Germans going with this annoying to deal with offlane ranged in hero.
30 seconds to battle.
So Perzo, it looks like Morphling will be starting middle. Having the Timbersaw up at top in the 1v1 against this Underlord. Whirling Death will be very, very handy for you there. Contesting bottom bounty rune at the same time. Triple bounty rune here. Looks like it's going to come to fruition for the Dire team. 1, 2, 3, easy peasy. Trixie gets his hands on the one bounty rune. Scouts up towards the north, maybe expecting the Dire team to have backed up, but he'll find nothing there for him. Instead, running straight towards the lane to cut this wave and drag it back across, like we've seen offlaners do time and time again. Get that level 2 as quickly as you can. Mid lane, Monkey looking for a potential courier snipe. Thompson not bringing anything out to himself just yet. Didn't get that bounty rune, of course, so the Healing salve will be a little delayed. Bottom lane, Bane and Oracle against the tri-lane of Clockwork, Lycan, and Ancient Apparition. If they get a Cogs into Cold Feet, this could be dangerous for the Dire team. Bane and Oracle, not the most survivable of heroes, with the cold hands here of AA. Oxia traps the Bane in. They don't go for the Cold Feet Cogs combo. Instead, the Chilling Touch is what gets the damage dealt. Clockwork did take a fair brunt of damage himself. As Monkey comes back to this wave meeting that the Underlord has so nicely scheduled. Zet, the Arc Warden. I miss a lot of the secondary names of those Dota heroes. I guess some of the secondary names have become primary names now, right? What was Morphling? Was Morphling just called Morphling? But he must have had a name as well. Clockwork hiding in the trees. Blue knows what's happening. Not going to get caught with their pants down. But Oxia's taking... He was taking a long route around, but now he's scouted. Range creep sees him come in. And they'll know exactly what his positioning is like. Back up to top. Timbersaw dishing out the damage into the Underlord, but they're both leveling and farming reasonably well here. 10 and 4 for Trixie. Already up and running. As Morphling tries to trade hits with the Arc Warden, but a difficult affair as Thompson doubling up on the CS of this Morphling so far in the first 2.5 minutes. But so not having the easiest of times, so they bring in the Monkey King from the south. Leap forward with the waveform as well, but Monkey King has jumped in a little bit too deep. Still gets the Orb of Venom hit in. Won't be enough to bring down this Arc Warden though. Still level 1 on the Monkey bottom lane. Hot Guy very caught in the cogs. Battery Assault from Oxia will secure them. First blood for Nemphy. As Lycan gets his hands dirty. Blood on the claws. As 5 anchors off to a good start yet again in this game, number 2. I can see chat is laughing at my Finnish pronunciation. Very amusing. Denied. Nemphy enfeebled. Not the best feeling in the world, but still only a level 2 Bane. Monkey King comes down. Not jumping in just yet. Smooth sailing over top though. Timbersaw reclaims the CS lead. Not as many denies as the Underlord, of course. That attack damage does rack up very quickly. Monkey King pretending to be a bounty rune here. Not 4 minutes just yet, so he'll get scouted and battery assaulted and killed off with a Cold Feet and the Chilling Touch. Oxia gets the trap on the Monkey King, and now they get the double bounty rune for their efforts. Donkey Kong Bongo player, wrong place, wrong time. But that scouting mission from the Clockwork paying off wonderfully for the Finnish boys. Thompson 2010, Morphling 14 and 5. Difficult time for the Morphling in this mid lane. Thompson never really feels like he's under threat. Even with that Monkey King jumping around near him. Bottom lane again. Oh, this time a 2-man cogs pushing back Oracle and Bane. Hot Guy doesn't get any kind of save onto this Bane Elemental, who now, with 1 death to his name, Oracle also with 1. Feeding a little bit in this aggressive dual lane they've set up for themselves, but they return with a Monkey King this time. They need to get themselves moving forward. Level 2 Brain Sap, but Nemphy tanky. And during this nighttime, level 1 Howl could prove to be the difference maker here if they try to go on him. That additional HP that he'll be getting definitely could be swing factor in this battle. Underlord scouts out the Morphling, pops the Shrine to heal back up to full. Got 3-0, 1k lead, 4-5 anchors so far. Dire team trying desperately to set something up down here. Monkey scouts out the Lycan and the AA. Entrance to this battle difficult though, as Oracle does have Fortune's End, but no real way to get closer to this fight without getting found by potentially Cogs and Cold Feet. Nymphy and Feeble still playing aggressively inside the creep wave. And the Dire, they're just lurking around in this bottom lane, kind of waiting for the Radiant to make a mistake, but the aggressive nature has definitely slowed down here from the Clock AA. They're holding back, not pressing too far forward and not getting caught out by any means. They seem to know that something is not quite right with this bottom lane. Bane and Oracle both playing very, very far forward. And Monkey King still only level 3, 1-2-0 in his build. Nothing over in that Jingu Mastery, as I think Clockwork should have seen the Monkey King flying over the trees. You've got to think about this middle lane as well, right? Thompson still farming like a madman. Morphling still lagging behind. Mambos gets the Underlord to return to lane after shoving him out with all these whirling death spam. And it's all quiet on this bottom lane. Very strange, not so quiet mid lane though. Thompson with these Spark Wraiths looking to bring down the Morphling. Has a waveform to get himself out of this. Flux now in onto Perzo. He's holding on for as long as he can. One more Spark Wraith, not going to be thrown down just now as Oxia found and killed bottom lane. They do finally bring down the Clockwork. Mid lane looked like it might be a kill, but bottom lane, the Dire do strike. Timbersaw still having an amazing game as well, going into that Bloodstone as quickly as he can. Looking to kill off Trixie as well, immediately blows the Underlord up. Top lane, Timbersaw flexing his muscles there, showing why he is so strong in 1v1 lanes against these melee cores. Perzo dropping low to Thompson, who brought out that Tempest double. Clockwork made the rotation in as well, but in the end wasn't really even needed. That was a solo kill by all means. Thompson bringing the Morphling to his knees. No aggression bottom lane though, as Bane backs up just a touch. Looking to get himself a Helm of the Dominator for that creep, Centaur, Hellbear Smasher, whatever it may be, to continue chain stunning people with a Nightmare. Monkey King flying over. Jumps up onto a tree. Nymphy. It's like, come on bro, jump on me. Let's see how far you can get. He does jump forward. No hits in onto the Lycan though. A much steadier game here. But it feels like the Radiant getting the upper hand in this steadier, slower drawn out game with the Lycan and Arc Warden both farming. Sure enough, Trixie has died a couple of times top lane, but he is pressuring the tower. And he's getting a ton of levels and a decent amount of money himself. Dire trying to press into this Radiant jungle down at bottom lane. They start off with the Boundless Strike. Blue looking for the Nightmare. They start with the Primal Spring after the Boundless. Blue gets here in time. The Cold Feet thrown by the Ancient Apparition. Blue repositions. Clockwork arriving. Gets the Battery Assault down with the Spark Wraith. In onto the Bane. Now the Flux flies out and Blue dropping low. He's going to fall here as Arc Warden and Clockwork make the rotation happen. Monkey King jumps from tree to tree and finds a safe space just to fall back as Pexu's Ancient Apparition looked close to death in that situation. But it will be the Lycan bringing down yet another one. Hot Guy Very falls on the bottom lane. Kong! Donkey Kong Bongo player. He's dying. Spark Wraith hits onto the Ancient. The Rocket Flare flies through, but the Primal Spring leaping away up to the trees. And it looks like he will be just fine. Oh, a Clockwork Haste Rune. Bane in all sorts of trouble, but he doesn't even know it's coming. Pings come out. Oxia there with the cogs in onto the Bane. Nightmares himself up with the Cold Feet, and the Chilling Touch will secure this inevitable kill on the Bane Elemental. Down he goes yet again. Level-wise, how are we looking? Bane at 5. Oh, middle lane. They've jumped in, the Morphling looking for this kill on Thompson, but it's not going to be enough yet again. He plays aggressively into the hands of this Arc Warden, dying 1v1. Arc Warden now level 9. Net worth-wise, 4.3 thousand.
Radiant structures are fortified. Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Thompson dying to Monkey.
Dire's
Oxia does come in, try and save the Monkey King up. Peksu dies in the meantime as the sacrifice there. More important to see if this Arc Warden
Dire's middle tower
dies or survives. Mambos get some damage in onto the tier 1 at long last. Arriving now though is this Underlord with the Hood, the Arcanes. Level 4 in the Firestorm sends the Timbersaw packing. We've also got to think about this Urn of Shadows, but really it's the Spirit Vessel that comes from that on the Clockwork. Such a great tool against the Timbersaw, removing 70% of that regen and healing he gets from Bloodstone or Hood or Yules or Wand, but really that reactive armor. A very, very good tool to deal with the Timber.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Necro Book being built by Nymphy, of course. A classic on Lycan. Timbersaw being defended by Monkey. Oxia sees the Monkey, throws the cogs, pushes Donkey Kong Bongo player back as they cut through the trees now, looking to push forward onto this Underlord potentially. There's the Cold Feet Ice Blast onto Morphling. Drop him towards low HP. Ice Blast still sticking onto Pertzo when he's transformed into the Clockwork, and he will die. Now, Donkey Kong Bongo player trapped inside of these cogs with the battery assault going. Tries to get off his ultimate, but the hookshot is there, even with his false promise. Donkey Kong Bongo player is going to fall. Tries to do damage back into the Underlord, but Nymphy here with a dominating streak, continuing his run through this game. Sprints forward, looking for the Timbersaw. Gets a few little hits in here, looking for the crits, but I don't know if he'll be able to bring him down. Mambo is very tanky with 17 1 charges and a couple of stacks of reactive armor up. Won't be able to do anything too much. But this Morphling, 1, 3, and 2, hugely struggling in this game, dying twice solo to Thompson and then falling there to basically your Ancient Apparition Ice Blast as they throw another one in onto mid. Mambos is caught by that Ice Blast and a Spark Ray. But Pertzo has jumped in, waveform into cogs. He's trying to morph to strength, but in comes the Firestorm from Trixie, bringing the Morphling down yet again. Peksu, Oxia, and Trixie drop the okay, that just happened okay. Because Morphling on a bit of a feeding spree in this game, 12-5. Game 2 of this best of 3 going much, much smoother for the Finnish lads as they now root up the Monkey King. Fiend's Grip back onto Trixie, Underlord. He's tanky though. With that Hood, he brings down the tower. Trying to run away now from this Wukong's command, but the Banner Strike catches him out. Oxia chased in as well. Blue trying to get the damage done, but they get the hook shot forward. Luckily for them though, Mambos is here with the Timber Chain and Chakrams, aiming for the Ancient Apparition after clearing up the Clockwork. Peksu still just about gonna TP away. Secures himself the safety of his fountain. But Thompson continues farming, and Nymphy was shoving this top lane, maneuvering himself into Necro 2, also pressuring a tier 2 tower.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower.
The Germans will get their hands on a tier 1 though. I'm not sure if they'll bring it down completely, but they've done a significant amount of structural damage here to this mid lane. Ice Blast flies over the top. Timber in relatively deep. Monkey King leaping forward, kills off Thompson. Killing spree gone. Timber Chain forward now with the damage in onto Peksu. They're bringing the Ancient Apparition low, and now they finish him off. Oxia in trouble as well with the false promise popping. Mambo still back up to a decent amount of HP, but he's got limited mana to work with. Nymphy and Trixie both running forward looking for this fight. They turn back onto the Underlord. Firestorm launched out here. Still no shapeshift for the Lycan, but Timbersaw dropping. Chakram will finish off the Underlord, and Mambos survives through it all. Nymphy cannot battle into these two heroes, and it will be a big win there. 14-11 now. 1,800 gold goes the way of the Dire team. Close to 1,000 the way of the Monkey King. 727 to the Timbersaw. from 14 to 19 Bloodstone charges. An amazing turn of events here for the Germans as Saphira get themselves back on track.
Excellent.
Where is my favourite player? Donkey Kong Bongo player. Phase boots ready. Aiming for that. Echo Saber again as Nemphy run out. With that Fortune's End, he pops his Howl and Mambos, forced to retreat a little bit there with the cold feet snapping on him. Peksu does defend Nemphy, at least for now. Bottom lane, TP in from the Underlord. With Thompson moving forward, they are looking for this Ice Blast into the root. The Ice Blast lands onto blue. Bane tries to brain sap back, but he will die before he can get anything done. Little creep there. Satyr Banisher roaming around, looking to help anyone out that they potentially can. Monkey King jumps in with a pit of Malice, trapping him twice though. Firestorm and damage from Thompson kills off the Monkey King. Great play by Trixie, preempting all of that with a Pit of Malice immediately as the jump was started. And now they go in onto the Oracle. Ice Blast going to fly over. Doesn't quite land in though, as well as the Dark Rift from Trixie, sending every single one of these Radiant heroes, except the Ancient Apparition, who did die in the back end of that fight to Mambos. But they retreat. Thompson and Trixie up towards the top lane. Trixie goes to shove out yet another wave. Very difficult though for this Dire team to get a foothold in this game when Morphling is so severely underfarmed.
Is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified.
Necro 3 now on Nemphy as well. This Lycan pretty stacked. Monkey trying to set up some kind of defense top tier 2. There's the Wukongs into Boundless, but Nemphy popped his ultimate already. Root now in onto this Timber Saw. Whirling Death back onto Nemphy. The hookshot in from Oxia though traps him in the cogs. Mambos battling 1v1 against Clockwork as Donkey Kong Bongo player finally falls. Ice Blast coming on through, but Mambos already finds his escape as the tier 2 falls. The rest of the Dire team aiming for some kind of fight in the Radiant jungle. Only finding a Tempest double though as Thompson farms a little bit deeper here, playing safely on this Arc Warden. Lincoln Sphere Morphling. Pretty distant dream. Not been the best game for you, my friend. It's going to be a long game for this Morphling. Thompson down at bottom though, has opened himself up. The real Arc Warden has stayed bottom. Sparkwraith here to try and scout them out, but with a Fiend's Grip and a waveform forward, this is a way to get your Morphling back into the game. With the Ice Blast landing though, Perzo could still be in a spot of bother here, but the rest of his team cutting off this line of aggression from the Radiant. Timber Chain will miss out from Mambos, but the two-man Fortune's End might open things up yet again. Timber Saw, Whirling Death down onto the Clockwork. Oxia falls. Force Staff from someone. It's the Timber Saw. He owns the Force Staff himself. Gets outside of the cogs, but that will be the end of that battle. 2-0 as the German team come out swinging. A nice little scrap there. Morphling stays alive through it all as well. That Ice Blast is proving to be a difficult spell to deal with for the Dire team. He'll have his Lincoln soon though. It'll get here eventually. No defense on this tier 2, as Trixie did move a little bit further forward than maybe he was comfortable doing so. Nightmare back onto the Clockwork as the shapeshifted Lycan does arrive. Coming forward, hook shot from Oxia. Traps one with the cogs and pushes them back. It's the Bane. Blue on the wrong side of the tracks here, but Nemphy sprinting forward. Looking for the Oracle. Clears him up. A wicked 6 streak for your Lycan. 2-0 so far. Mambos does jump away. The Timber Saw has a way to escape here with the Force Staff, the Timber Chains, and the Whirling Death, shoving Nemphy back towards his den. But the Dire team getting the tier 2, losing their supports. Feels okay for them. The Shrine forced here by the Radiant, and they're also getting a little bit of pressure on these other lanes. Mid tier 1 taking a little bit of damage as the Monkey King shoves in, hiding away on top of the treetops. Morphling gets time to finish his Lincolns at long last. It comes. And swiftly moving into the E-Blade now. Swiftly moving on. Let's get ourselves up and running. Let's become a hero. Not sure what this is all about. Interesting. That was a bizarre play. Monkey King just trying to bait spells, I guess. Faking out. Pretending they're fighting there when really they're not. But just look at this Timber Sword. 21 Bloodstone charges, 4 staff. The majority of his Lotus Orb is done. And maybe now they'll bring down this tier 1. Lycan building a Silver Edge. Oh boy. He has had it with his Timber Saw. Absolutely had it.
Middle tower has fallen.
Four staff onto Thompson. They've caught the Arc Warden with the Fiend's Grip as well, bringing down the real one. The Tempest double still, dealing out some damage here, spamming out spells. Not likely able to kill anyone off just here though. Up at top lane, Morphling and the Underlord have a little bit of a fight, but Morphling going for this TP out. Succeeds, 1000 HP. A little bit too much. Nemphy felt that he couldn't really rip through that too quickly. And Morphling just TP's bottom, continues the farm towards his E-Blade. Oh boy. Dark Rift, Trixie, he takes him out of here. There's nothing to stop them. A 4-staff maybe from the Timbersaw onto the Underlord, but have shoved him far enough away from the Lycan, but it was a far cry from happening. Now you've got the Spirit Vessel up on Clockwork. Great tool to deal with this Timbersaw. Remove a lot of that HP regen he naturally gets from his skill set and his itemization. Very good against the Morphling as well, tying in with this Ice Blast. Very good pairing between the two supports. But it does feel like the Germans have a fair amount of control moving around this map now, thanks to the Monkey King and the Timbersaw being so incredibly strong at this stage of the game. Mambos clipped by the Ice Blast there, but you see the split push coming through from 5 Anchors. They are scared to 5-man team fight, so they're just trying to split this map as much as they possibly can. Jump in onto Clock bottom lane. Donkey Kong Bongo player going to be 4-staffing Oxia closer towards the Bane with a Fiend's Grip there. 4-staffed away now. Pit Lord traps in the Timbersaw. False Promise will keep him up and running. Oxia still survives him with the earn damage ticking over on him as Nemphy sprints away. Wukong's command is down. Zoning out these Finnish players. Tier 1 still stands though as the Firestorm Ice Blast flying on through. Looking to clip onto the Timbersaw. Lands as well. Bounce Strike back in onto Nemphy's Lycan. Shapeshifted up for a little bit longer. Now transforms back into its normal hero. 600 HP. Dropping lower and lower. They're trying to chase in onto Bane, but they can't do the damage. Whirling Death from Mambos, but he's dropping low. There's the Lotus Orb. The heal back in from this Oracle. Bane turns back to fight again, but trapped inside this root. In comes Thompson. Finally, the Arc Warden arrives. Slicing through. One hero of the Dire team. Monkey King, very low on HP, leaps himself across towards the east. Everyone else survives. Multiple ultis and spells and pretty much everything in that fight. But look at this shit. Look, everything was cast in that fight, and one hero dies. Ridiculous battle. Very, very pokey and proddy, back and forth. But it's buying time for Morphling, catching up in this game. E-Blade very nearly here for this Perzo Morphling, who got absolutely slain in the early stages of this game. Who's this? It's Mambos. Looking for Pexu. Not going to find any real damage onto the Ancient Apparition. 22 Bloodstone charges now on this Timbersaw as well. Trixie thinks twice about defending so far up against the Timber.
Excellent.
as this game stretches out, though. You can feel it becoming more and more about this Morphling versus Arc Warden. Two high farm priority heroes on opposing teams. Sure enough, the Timbersaw is up at the top of the food chain there with 15,000 net worth. Things are going to start shifting, though, as Morphling. E-Blade is done. Mid lane, Fiend's Grip comes in. The Cogs trapping Oxia into a cage of his own design. The Chakram Whirling Death combo clears up. The two supports here. 5 anchors missing out on this team fight so far, as the Dark Rift should secure safety for Trixie. No Lycan, no Arc Warden in that battle, though. And AA Clockwork give up their lives for another good win here. The Dire team swinging back pretty strong with another 1,000 net worth swing overall.
Middle tower is under attack.
Morphling looking for some kind of E-Blade target. Would love to find the AA, the Arc Warden. Ice Blast flying on through, hits onto the Timbersaw, but nice little Fate Edict there as Timber sprints away, launches the Chakram. Lycan running forward, though, held with the Fortune's End. And Mambos, he looks pretty healthy just to try and walk this one off. Donkey Kong Bongo player, unfortunately, will not have the same luxury. Now the chase fully on. Trixie running forward, looking for the Oracle. Spark Raid's placed. Oracle can't run away from this. The damage has been dealt, even with the Urn Charge and the Purifying Flames. He will fall here. And 5 anchors come out strong. This time the 2 supports falling over on the Dire team as Roshan opens up for the Radiant. Nymphy and Okesuka run in towards the pit, and Roshan will be falling. A million debuffs there on the big man. No real contest from the Dire as Bane, Morphling and Timber all just hang back. Timbersaw with the 4-staff Kaya build. That's a new one to me.
My waters rise.
Radiant's top tower has been denied.
Am I missing something with this purge? Like what is Bane trying to purge here? Purge off, can you purge off Howl?
The wages of fear.
Excellent.
Firestorm? I guess you can purge off Static Charge, but like, he's had this purge creep for a long time. And I'm just curious to know what it's for. Cold Feet? I guess. So, if Bane goes in and Fiend's Grip someone, right? The immediate response is to either Hookshot or Cold Feet. And you'd much rather just Cold Feet the gripping Bane. I guess you Cold Feet and you Hookshot. I don't know. Maybe chat knows. Maybe there's something that I'm just dumb about. Which is very, very highly likely here. Because he's had Helm of the Dominator since, like, what, 12, 13 minutes in? And he keeps getting the Banisher. Interesting hook shot from Oxia. Mambos will get hit by the Flux, the break from the Lycan Silver Edge as well. Ice Blast swinging too far south here from the Ancient Apparition. The chase continues, but Timber Chain far too good an escape tool here, and 5 anchors won't find the kill that they were looking for. Like, is it just a scouting tool to purge people and slow them before they can be caught? It just seems so weird. I'm sure there's something I'm missing.
Illusion.
Nice catch onto Morphling. Can't waveform away. Does finally die. Mambos gets the cross kill onto Oxia though. Blue hit by the Cold Feet. Thompson's Little Tempest double here, ripping the Bane apart. The False Promise comes out onto blue. Eventually, Mambo's still running forward onto the Underlord and Ancient Apparition, but trapped, rooted inside the Pit of Malice. There comes the Lotus Orb. And Fate's Edict from Oracle. Things slow down again. Monkey jumps away. No further chase here, but Mambos has gone in. They didn't chase him. He jumped into them. Baits out the Ice Blast. Still sprinting away. Oracle directly behind. Urges off anything he possibly can. Hot Guy Very, though, in an awful lot of trouble. Right-click down here by Thompson's Tempest double. And Trixie brings him to his knees. Overall, it looks like a 3-for-1 overall. As 5 anchors, the Finn stack, come out on top in another team fight. 25-18 at this point. Arc Warden beginning to feel very much online. Aegis on Nymphy lasting for a significant amount of time. 1 minute remaining still on that Lycan Aegis. They push up onto high ground here. Tier 3 being breached. And the creep wave cleared so easily. The Dire team will struggle to defend their high ground and their base at this point. Rax also being brought down. Melee falls. Tier 2 up at top has gone as well. So the Finnish guys do transfer their momentum up towards this top tier 3 as well. Spirit double. Up in the front line, zoning back the Bane. Morphling finds the Ancient Apparition though with a Chakram forward. Dark Rift cast here by Trixie. Get the rest of his squad out. And they will succeed. 1.5 lanes of barracks gone. 2 melee, 1 ranged racks fallen. And 1 melee, 2 ranged racks left standing here. And 1 tier 2 remains as an outer bastion of defense for the Dire team. Arcane Rune top spot. Roshan may respawn in 3 minutes. Aegis reclaimed in about 6 seconds time. Mid lane, Thompson Spirit double. Gonna get cleared up here. Nice bit of extra cash there for the Dire team.
Excellent.
Morphling. Aiming towards that Eye of Skadi. But you have to say that this Mambo's Timbersaw has been the huge thorn in the side of this Radiant team. Getting in on top of the Lycan. Arc Warden doing tons of damage. Very elusive hero and difficult to bring down as well. Going to need this Manta and Bloodthorn on Thompson ASAP. Even a BKB on Lycan might be something that you start considering taking here. Against all of this magic and pure damage between Morphling, Timber and Bane, BKB could be very, very nice to have. Rod of Atos with the Ice Blast, perfect. Onto the Timbersaw, Firestorm thrown into the mix as well as the Primal from Monkey, but Wukong's command won't really accomplish anything as Hot Guy dies, the Oracle falls, and now Timbersaw left to his own devices. Fiend's Grip back onto the Lycan. Bane though being brought down here by Trixie. Underlord finds another kill. They could chase forward onto Timbersaw as well, but GG is called. They tap out. Giving up here in this best of 3.
Radiant victory.
5 anchors. They'll progress. Congratulations to them going through to the closed qualifiers for ESL One Genting. Saphira, unfortunately, do not do so. You can purge off the Spirit Vessel debuff from Morphling or Timber. That's very, very nice to know. That's what they were looking for. That's what they were looking for. So, 5 anchors. They progress through. All the way into the closed qualifiers here for ESL One Genting. Thompson, where are you? Top 5 still. Very good, very good. Hasn't slipped. Playing official games, of course. Not playing ranked does mean that your rank can potentially just slip away. But 5 anchors with a 2-0 victory there over the Germans. We've got another best of 3 coming up for you today. I will try and find out who exactly we'll be tuning into. But it should be starting relatively soon. We'll take a short break. Hopefully you guys go and enjoy your dinner. Get your lunch, get your breakfast, whatever. Get some snacks going on. We'll have a break here until our next series comes up. For now, we'll put some music on, chill out a little bit. See you then.